Monster Energy, the official energy drink of USC. Unleash the Beast. And Trojans Live is sponsored by Pechanga Resort Casino, proud partner of USC football. Jordan Moore, Sean Cody, Max Brown, and defensive line coach Shaun Nua joins us now. Coach, kind of the opposite of what we were talking about on the offensive side on Saturday. The first quarter was tough for the defense and then seemed to settle down. What did you guys feel like you fixed and got right after the first couple series?
It always goes down to execution and guys doing their job and us helping them get in position to do their job. So just like you said, start off slow and then we picked it up. But that's the problem. Kind of part of the problem we have right now is just consistency. You know, we got to be consistent if we want to get our defense to where we want to go.
Yeah, Coach, speak on that a little bit. The improvements that need to be made. Is it gap integrity? Is it physical mismatch beats? Or what do you feel like the biggest area you guys can focus on?
All 11 guys executing at the same time. You know, and it could be communication, it could be operations, whatever it is, that we got to make sure that we fix that. And that's the problem that we have now, is just all 11 guys not being on the same page. And I tell my room that starts with me first and foremost, you know, and we got to make sure that we do a good job of helping these guys getting all on the same page, so that way they can execute at a high level consistently.
It was great to see Romello Height pop on film last week, and given his story, comes here a lot of expectations in the injury last season, and then battle back to, it feels like he's getting a bigger role as the weeks go by. What's he doing well for your squad?
Well, he's practicing well, practice hard, and executing his job consistently in practice, and you see it, that transfers right into the game. So he's doing a great job of doing that, and he's a hard worker, you know, and Coach Manning is doing a great job with him as well, making sure that he understands his role and his job. So it was good to see him.
You're listening to defensive line coach Shaun Nua on Trojans Live. Coach, Utah was such a unique opponent to play against. They kept throwing sort of wildcat packages at you. They obviously wanted to get back to the run whenever they could, but then they had certainly some interesting concepts in the pass side. But that wildcat, it's something that's come into popularity in the last handful of years. Where does it stress you guys as a defense? What's sort of the keys when you're facing that offensive concept?
First and foremost, as a D-line coach, they put a wildcat in there. You expect the D-line to dominate. But to expand on your question, it forces all 11 players. You can't afford to have a safety deep middle, you know, especially if the D-line's not executing their job or dominating up front. Then you have to have everybody be part of it. Now it's 11 on 11 now. You know, there's no quarterback back there throwing the ball or tossing it off. So that's the challenge. But at the same time, I always look at, we can destroy those guys up front, and you know, they're really not throwing the ball. So that's like recipe for a great buffet for us up front as a D lineman. You know, so that's a challenge. It's just they put wildcat. I got to lick my chops and said, this is time for us to eat.
Yep. Coach, take us through your group a little bit. A lot of rotation this week. You saw everybody out there, Tyrone Taleni, Dejon Benton. You got guys keeping fresh, rolling out there. How's the group playing? And then talk about your guys.
I got a great group, man, great room. First of all, they're great young men. They're great men. They do a great job off the field, and they are hungry every day they come to work. The rotation-wise, I really like the rotation. We got some depth, and probably, you know, I can do a better job of keep feeding all of them. You know, like, for example, the Colorado game, that I thought I did a poor job with that elevation, and you know, our guys starting off slow. But that's part of our, as a coach. But I have a great room, and it's very deep.
Yeah. Yeah, so much was made in the offseason about that rotation and the ability to get to a lot of guys going into the season. It sounds like, you know, some weeks you might be where you want to get to. You mentioned the Colorado week and maybe getting to more bodies. One, how do you manage that rotation? And then two, I guess just big picture, where do you feel like depth-wise that room's at?
First and foremost, you got to put in a combination that could help the defense as best as possible. That's the number one thing. What is the best thing for the team? It's not for like, oh, whoa, we got to put this young man in because he didn't play. No, they all are deserving to play. If they made the travel roster, they're deserving to play. But number one is make sure that they're out there to help the team, help the defense. And then number two, you see, like, try to get some matchups in. You know, oh, well, this is a big O-line, so we need our bigger guys. Or, you know, if depending on the game plan that we have. So the rotation is all about what's the best for the team and the defense.
You know, I said this on Saturday, and I was actually talking about the Utah player that had to miss the first half, but now USC is faced with it as Bear Alexander has to miss the first half of the Cal game. I don't think there's another sport in the world where they suspend people for a half. It puts you in such a unique situation where the kid has to get warmed up all of a sudden when the game's going on and be a big part of the second half. How do you handle it? I mean, such a key part of your defensive line, and you only get him for the second 30.
Well, you can seek comfort and just try to blame the ref all you want, but at the end of the day, you got to find solutions. That's the name of the game. So the next man up, and I have all the confidence in the world of who we have that's going to step up. I thought, we all have thoughts on the call here and there, but at the end of the day, there's nothing you can do about it. You just got to react and find the best solution. So you got to get the next man ready, and I have a lot of confidence in who we have.
Coach, big one's coming up still. Obviously, you got Cal this week. What's your group got to do to take this defense and make that next step?
Same thing, consistent execution and dominate the front. We got to make sure we stop the run and just take over the game. That's these young men are great young men. We want to make sure that we push them and challenge them to say just execute at a high level consistently. Starts up front. I can't say it starts up front and then I run from when they're rushing the ball on us. So it's something that I look in the mirror every day and say that was not acceptable. So we got to make sure that we take advantage of this opportunity coming up, and we're excited for it.
All right, well, we are looking forward to it. Thank you so much for taking the time tonight, Coach. USC versus Cal, 1 o'clock start up in Berkeley. We will get going at 11 a.m. Hey, Trojan fans, did you know the Ralph's app gives you easy access to weekly sales and personalized coupons, and you can earn fuel points too? Check out the app today and save while you cheer us on to another great season. Ralph's, proud partner of USC Athletics. We still have another football guest to come in, Jonah Monheim, but next we're going to sit down with Dominique Onu from USC Women's Basketball. It's coming up on Trojans Live.